One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Well, hello. It's so good to be here and be here with my family. Looking at myself in so many luscious, juicy forms. It's amazing. I love it. So I think one of the most important things we can ever do when we start off anything is to acknowledge ourselves. Can we do that? Thank you for being here today, and I really want to just make this a time to just give and receive love. That's the only reason why I'm up here, really. The words really don't matter. I just want to get out of the way enough to let the love of God come through me to you. The love of Spirit come through me to you. And I trust that whatever is supposed to come out of that is going to happen. Because that's who you are. We are one. We are just one self, united with our Creator. That's all. Sometimes we forget that, and you can tell when you forget that because you act crazy. It's always the hint when you can tell when you're not really focused in on the truth. You become a maniac. And so therefore you can tell you might not be listening to the voice for love, the voice for God, the voice for truth. And so what we want to do is, in A Course in Miracles, we want to remove the blocks to the awareness of the truth in us. We want to remove the blocks to awareness of love in us. We want to remove any block that keeps us from loving ourselves and knowing the power and the truth and the love and the spirit that we really are. Yes. The rumor is that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, a physical experience. And when we forget that, then we start to create fear for ourselves. And we lose sight of our power. We lose sight of who we really are. And when we lose sight of who we really are, then we start acting according to something that's not true to ourselves. And again, you can tell when you're doing something and it's not a reflection of who you truly are by the way that you feel. So the right use of judgment is your own feelings. So if you're feeling anything but peace, according to the Course in Miracles, it means that you are misinterpreting whatever you are seeing or whatever is going on. And if your upset is a clue that you're not seeing correctly, and you're upset most of the time, what does that mean? You're not seeing correctly most of the time. Right. So then it becomes an issue of, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? That becomes the question I want to throw out to you today. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Happy!
Yeah, right.
I know.
So, I'm going to get started today, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to go as far as we can in this Course in Miracles. And I'm going to start out by sharing the guidelines for the Course in Miracles, especially for those of you who are Course in Miracles virgins, in the sense that this is your first time. This is your first time, I promise I'll be gentle. Okay. If this is your first time, I'll try to be as gentle as I possibly can. And it's important for you not to lose your sense of humor, because the Course in Miracles teaches that the way we get into fear and conflict and pain and struggle is that we forget to laugh. And the area of our lives that we tend to forget to laugh the most is in the part of our lives that we think of as our spiritual growth. So that's when we tend to get really, really, really serious. So the name of the game is to be sincere, but not necessarily serious. So that's what we're going to start off with. So remember, you need not believe the ideas. That the first thing you need to keep in mind is you need not believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. You need not welcome the ideas. And some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Did I say some of the ideas you may actively resist? Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Active resistance can take the form of saying, hell no. That comes up, that may be a sign of active resistance. So remember, some of the ideas you may find hard to believe. Some of the stuff that I'm going to say today, you may find what? Hard to believe. And if it's hard to believe, some of it might be startling. So some of the stuff might be startling, some of the stuff might be hard to believe. So you're not being asked to judge and analyze the ideas at all. It's our natural tendency is to judge and analyze the ideas, but that's not what we're being asked to do. Your understanding is not a powerful contribution to the truth. Your understanding is not a powerful contribution to the truth. Your understanding doesn't make something true. Because you agree with it or don't agree with it doesn't necessarily mean something is true or false because you agree with it or not agree with it. So our understanding is not a powerful contribution to the truth. Whether you believe the truth or not, whether you believe there's gravity or not, if you jump off the building, you will not fall up. So your belief does not have any effect on what is true. What your belief has an effect on is what you perceive. What your belief has an effect on is how you're perceiving. And the way that you're perceiving and how you are perceiving, that's determining the way that you feel. So the way that you feel is coming from your interpretation of what you're looking at. So your feelings are not coming from the thing you think you're upset about or the thing you think is happening in your life right now. Your feelings are coming from the meanings and the interpretations that you're giving on all of those things that are happening. So your feelings are not coming from anything that you think is going on in your life right now on the outer. There's nothing on the outer that's causing the way you're feeling today. There's nothing on the outer that's causing the way you're feeling today. There's nothing on the outside that's causing the way you're feeling today. Did I say there's nothing on the outside that's causing the way that you're feeling today?
Yes.
Did I say there's nothing on the outside that's causing what you're feeling today? Okay, so no matter how you feel right now, whatever you're feeling right now, whatever you're feeling in this moment right now, is not being caused by me. It is not being caused by anything outside of yourself at all. It's coming from the meaning that you're giving to whatever that you're hearing right now. That's where your feelings are coming from. Your feelings are coming from the meaning that you give to everything that you're looking at and everything that you're hearing. Now, you're noticing that I'm repeating myself.
Yes.
Because the reason why you believe the way you believe right now, the reason why you have the beliefs that you have about your life and yourself right now, the reason why you feel the way that you feel right now is because of the beliefs that you have right now. And those beliefs that you have right now are based on the things you were told and the things you were taught and the things that you've heard over and over and over and over and over and over and over until you accepted it as true, and then your world started to reflect that back to you. And if someone taught you that you were not enough, that you were not valuable, that you were not beautiful, that you were not holy, that you were not innocent, if every time you looked around somebody in your life didn't tell you, oh, you awesome. When you just walked by your parents when you were growing up and they said, whoa, whoa, you so awesome. I don't know if you grew up like that, you know, but if you heard anything other than that and you heard it constantly, then there's a possibility that some part of your mind accepted that you were not valuable, you were not loved, you were not powerful, you were not loving. And that part of your mind that accepted that started to project a world for you and create a world for you that reflected that you were not enough back to you. So you would attract relationships to you that don't make you feel like you're enough. You will find yourself on a job that you're not giving yourself peace through. You'll look at your financial situation and find out the bank is sending you a letter asking you to close your account because it's costing them more money to keep it going than the money you got in it. You know, whatever is happening in your experience is coming from your consciousness, your beliefs, your thoughts, and everything around you is a reflection of the way you believe. Your perception only witnesses to your conscious and unconscious thoughts. And notice I said unconscious thoughts, hidden thoughts, thoughts that I don't even know that I have. The Course in Miracles is a teaching. The Course in Miracles is a teaching that is absolutely trying to allow you to find out what those hidden beliefs are, see those hidden beliefs, erase those hidden beliefs, and release those hidden beliefs so that you can only experience the joy and the peace and the happiness and the abundance that is your divine right, that should be your natural state as a child of the Creator and a child of God. That's not depressing. Okay? So whether you believe in a higher power or not, whether you believe in a creator or not, whether you believe you created yourself or not, where do you start? You start with two things, recognizing that there are only two things that you are experiencing at any time. And the only things that you're experiencing at any time is some form of love and some form of fear. You're just experiencing love or fear. Love or fear. Love or fear. That's all you're experiencing right now. It's love or fear. And love goes by many names: happiness, joy, abundance, fun, partying like a big dog. And fear goes by a lot of stuff too: guilt, anger, separation, attack, sickness. These are all forms of fear. So that which created us is love, that which we made up is fear, and fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. So when you are looking at false evidence appearing real, that's a block to the truth that's behind that fear, which is that you are loved, you are only loved, you are loved, you are loving, and you are lovable. You are loved, you are loving, and you are lovable forever. You are loved, you are loving, and you are lovable forever. You are loved, you are loving, you are lovable forever. Eternally. Nothing can change eternal love. Anything that's real, you can always count on it. It's going to always be there, no matter what. And anything that's not real is not going to last. And you can count on that. So if you even have the worst situation that you can imagine going on in your experience right now, take heart. Take heart. Because if it's not love, it can't last by definition, and that explains a lot of your relationships. I mean, that explains all of your relationships. Only love is real. Only love is real. Only love is constant. Only love is what we can depend on. Love is what you are. Love is what we are. And another term for love is free. Love is freedom. Love is freedom. You are so free that you can experience anything that you choose to experience, even if it's something that's not giving you joy right now. Out of your own freedom, you can keep yourself miserable as long as you would like to, and nothing will interfere with that out of your freedom. You're so free. Because you're going to either learn love or fear. And we're coming together because every time we join, every time we come together, every time we have any sense that we're not alone, anytime we have any sense that we're connected with others, it decreases the sense of separation and decreases the sense of fear.
Yay! Woohoo!
No, thank you, young lady. Appreciate that. That was good news. It was good news to me too. All right. So the only thing that we're being asked at this point is that if we use the ideas will show you that the ideas are true, and it's great because pain has a limit. So no matter what you're experiencing, if it's not bringing you peace, you will get to a point that you'll say the one statement that the Course in Miracles says that a person says when they're really ready to change their mind, there must be a better way. You get to the point that you go, there absolutely must be a better way, and I'm willing to use that better way. I'm willing to admit I don't even know what my own best interest is. I don't even know what anything is for. And so that opens me up to new perceptions and new teachings that's beyond anything I've allowed myself to receive. Now I'm going to mention the G word. God. What I found to be true is that God is the prime creator, the source of all that is, the love that created us, that which we are a part of, that which gave us life. I find that a lot of people that come to the Course in Miracles or who's drawn to the Course in Miracles are in deep recovery from their religious upbringing. That they learned things about the Creator when they were coming up that was based on fear and anger and attack. And because of that fear, because of that anger, because of that idea of a punishing Creator, they threw the baby out with the bathwater. They took the whole concept of the higher power, they took the whole concept of God, and they tossed that concept because of the concepts of God that they were taught when they were coming up. And as a result, they denied themselves an easy life. They denied themselves of opportunity to have things done for them and through them. They denied themselves the possibility of having everything that they deserved revealed to them and even given to them, because they believe that they're on their own, autonomous, and self-sufficient. And if you believe you're all alone, autonomous, and self-sufficient, that's the Course in Miracles definition of an atheist, is a person who believes that they are alone, not a person who necessarily says, I don't believe in God. So if you feel like it's you on your own having to do everything, that's the Course's definition of an atheist. And do you know that if you live in a reality, and that reality is a reflection of what you believe and what you've accepted as true, and then you turn around and tell yourself, I am alone, I have to do it all on my own, I have to figure out everything myself, your entire reality will reflect that back to you, and you will look like a person who never gets support, who never gets help. That's because you're saying I have to do it by myself. The universe always says yes. You gotta do it by yourself? Yes. You all alone? Yes. Nobody's gonna love me? Yes. I can never have what I want? Yes. The universe always says yes. So every time you're saying these things to yourself and you're having this internal dialogue that's not based on what's true, then the universe says yes. Your perception says yes, and everything validates what you believe to be true. So what does that mean? That means that if you are deep in a fearful perception, a separate perception, and a perception that you are a victim and that you are alone, then your world reflects that back to you. And when you hear a guy like me talking about you're loved, you're supported, you can have help, you can have guidance, you can experience a life far beyond your wildest imagination, enjoy, it's going to sound like airy-fairy stuff. It's going to sound like stuff that's not true. Why? Because your perception does not validate what I'm saying. So you are only seeing the past. As you sit up here right now, the Course in Miracles says you see only the past. And the past is kicking your ass. So it's very important. You see only the past. That's all you're ever seeing is your past learning, your past thoughts, your past beliefs, the things that you have experienced in the past. So if you're ready for a new beginning, if you're ready for your life to be different, if you're ready to go to a new level, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot compare the state of your perception of your experience right now with the new ideas about yourself that you'd like to see manifested. You can't continue to compare what your situation is now to these ideas and the promises that they're making, because your physical reality, the reality that you're living in right now, is the reflection of other decisions and other beliefs and other choices you've made in other such moments just like this. So you're looking at your past financial situation, you're looking at your past relationship situation, you're looking at your past spiritual situation, you're looking at the tail end of a thought. The physical reality is the tail end of a thought. What you're looking at is the end of a thought. So this is the end result. Me standing up in front of you is the effect of the thought of standing up here. The thought of standing up here came before me standing up here. So by the time you see something physical, you're at the end of the whole process. It's done. Wow. So if you're really ready to have something new, then you got to act from the causative level, and the causative level is the thought level, and the thought level is the level of creation and extension. So today you can make a decision that no matter what's going on in your life, you're ready to look at it differently, you're ready to experience it differently, you're ready to let go of every block to happiness that you could ever have. And that, my friends, is what the Course in Miracles is about. It's about removing the blocks to the awareness of how friggin' cool you are. So you need to join with me in that idea. Because in ideas, minds communicate. And no decision made in isolation has power, but any decision that you make with someone that you join, the Course says an idea shared equally becomes like the will of God. So we're doing that today. And God is simply that which is the love that created us, the infinite mind and creation that created us. So we have help. Help is here. And we are the ones that are willing to receive it. Is this not true?
Yes.
Okay, so this is cool. This is cool.
Yes.
So I want you to take a breath right now. 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 And nothing you see means anything. You have given everything you see all the meaning that it has for you. You have given everything you see all the meaning that it has for you. You do not understand anything you see. You do not understand anything you see. Now, you are never upset for the reason you think. I am never upset for the reason I think. Say what? I am never upset for the reason I think. Say what now? I am never upset for the reason I think. Now I am never upset for the reason I think. Wait, what now? I am never upset for the reason I think. Now, do you know? So let's take a real life so-called illusionary situation. You're out in traffic, it looks like somebody just cut you off in the middle of the traffic. You forget you're a child of God. You forget love is your natural state and that you're a spiritual being. And the first thing that you want to get to is the point you say, I'm never upset for the reason I think about this thing that's happening right now. I'm just never upset for the reason I think. You walk up to your partner, you want to say, you know what? I'm never upset for the reason I think, but I'm going to tell you what I think I'm upset about. I'll tell you the reason I'm upset about. No, I'm never upset for the reason I think. I'm here and I'm never upset for the reason I think, but let me tell you what I am giving the meaning to that's making me feel upset right now. See, when you start to use the truth, you start to use another way of communicating, because the Course in Miracles, it says, is a language. It's another language, like French or Spanish or Italian. If you don't believe it, try sharing the Course with somebody and see how quick they understand anything you say. Try reading something out of this book and see how much somebody understands what you've just written, even though it's English. It's surely advice to tell you not to judge what you don't understand. It's surely good advice to tell you not to judge what you don't understand. It's surely good advice not to tell you not to judge what you don't understand. Don't judge what you don't understand. No one with a personal investment is a reliable witness. No one with a personal investment is a reliable witness. You don't ask your mate about what they think about this person that you're attracted to, that you can't hardly control yourself when you're around. They have a personal investment. They're not going to be too reliable a witness about that. Whatever you have a personal investment in is where you're going to be the least objective in, where you're going to be the most likely to tip the whole thing in favor of what you want to happen. Because if you got a personal investment, you can't be completely objective. That's why the person on the airplane gives you the best advice. Because they have no investment in the conversation that you're having whatsoever. No one with a personal investment is a reliable witness. No one with a personal investment is a reliable witness, for the truth to that person has become what they want it to be. So if you're unwilling to receive a call for help, the Course says that people are either expressing love or a call for love. They're either expressing love or a call for help. They're either expressing love or a call for healing and help. Those are the only two things that are happening, no matter what the behavior seems to be, no matter what the outer behavior seems to be, no matter how they're acting on the outer, no matter what's going on in Syria, no matter what's going on in Ferguson, no matter what's going on in any area of this country right now and in the world right now, all we're seeing on CNN is not CNN. What we're seeing is a humongous, gigantic, incredible call for help, call for love, and call for healing that's going on in every area of the world right now, that it looks like things are going on that we're pretending is not going on because we are trying not to look at it because we're scared of what happened if we do.
Yeah, right.
You know, some people never look at anything that's going on in the world because they think somehow that's going to keep them from experiencing it. That's the same as standing in the middle of a railroad track, seeing a train coming and put your hand over your eye thinking you're not going to get hit. But a lot of true students do that. I'm probably like creating a little right now. So I'm not saying you should go home and watch every news that happens on the news all the time. But I'm gonna tell you this though, if you're doing it out of fear, then you're not really becoming more conscious. If you're not watching the news out of fear, then you're increasing your fear.
Yeah, sure.
If you're coming from love, it's a different ball game. But whatever you're doing out of fear is not coming from consciousness, it's coming from unconsciousness. So what I'm saying to you is, the only thing that you're going to ever see on any newscast is love or a call for love. Yeah. That's the only thing that's happening. So the Course says, now if you're unwilling to see a call for help, it's what it is. He says, you know why a person isn't willing to see what somebody else is doing as a call for love, as a call for help? It says, because that's your unwillingness to give it and receive it. Yeah. What does that mean? It means I don't want to see your call for love because I'm not willing to receive help when I have a call for love. In other words, my lack of love for myself makes me not want to see what you are doing as a call for love. Will make you hot. I found out it's easier that way. Turn off the fan. I used to work so much harder. Okay, so what that's saying is, I'm going to give what I want to receive, and so therefore, if I don't want to see what you're doing as a call for help, the Course says that's because I'm unwilling to give help and to receive help. The reason why I work out of the Course in Miracles book when I teach is because most people haven't heard what the Course in Miracles is saying. And I see myself as a messenger. And the mailman that comes to your door is not invested in the message that he's delivering to you. He doesn't stand there and go, would you read that for me so I can give you my opinion on what happened to you last night at that party? And do you not get upset with the mailman when you get some bad news? You don't go chase him down and run him over. So I'm the messenger, so don't get upset with me. I didn't write it, I'm the messenger, I'm not here to defend it. And I just said at the very beginning, you can accept what you want to and not accept what you don't want to. It's up to you to buy it or not buy it. I'm not invested in it because it wouldn't truly be a gift if I was concerned about the outcome of the giving of it. If I gave this to you and I'm concerned about how you're going to receive it, then I'm imprisoning you with my gift. Oh. That's like giving somebody a toaster for their wedding present and they wake up the next morning and you sitting in the kitchen to make sure they use it. Right? And how many of us do that all the time? We give stuff, we do stuff, we share stuff, and then we immediately get upset and have a grievance because we don't think the person received it the way we wanted them to, or they treated us back the way we thought they should treat us if they received it from us. That's not a gift. That's imprisonment. So when you read the Course in Miracles, it says so much stuff. Like it says the second coming of Christ is basically just to return your common sense. I thought that was a cool definition of the second coming of Christ. The return of your common sense, the return of who you really are as that extension of God, that extension of love. Who you really are. You're not your bodies, you are free. You're not your bodies, you are not your bodies, you are not your bodies, you are not your... It's sort of like, you know, a snack. You're not your bodies. You are not your body. You have a body, you're not a body. You have a body, you're not a body. Your body is a temporary teaching, learning device. Your body is a temporary teaching, learning device. You're supposed to use your body to communicate to me through my body that we are loved, that we are one, that we are innocent. Why? Because if your outer reality is a reflection of your consciousness, and you have a consciousness of your innocence and your sinlessness and your guiltlessness, you're not going to create punishment and pain for yourself because you already believe that an innocent mind does not deserve to suffer. You already believe that a person that's innocent doesn't deserve to suffer. So the more you are increasing your belief in your own innocence, which is directly opposite of what the world teaches us, and you already see, we already see the result of what the world teaches us. It's the world we're seeing. We already know what the world is like when we think we're separate from each other. We already know what it's like when we think that we have to be in fear of each other and in competition with each other. We already see that. It's the world we're experiencing right now. And everything that's experiencing in it is coming from the belief that we're separate. So what would happen if you wanted to support the idea that you weren't guilty and sinful, but that you are actually innocent and loved What kind of world would that produce? And I'm interested in joining with other people who want to perceive that world. Those are the people that I'm appealing to in my life. Those are the people I want to be around. Those who want to change the content of their mind, more so than always being concerned about the form and the material experience that they think they're projecting. Because if you hate yourself, you can have $1 million come to you tomorrow, and your self-hatred will make you make yourself miserable through the $1 million that you receive tomorrow. So if you don't deal with the content of your mind, then you will not have joy no matter what you receive. And if you have a loving content in your mind, no matter what the situation that you're in, you'll feel joy and peace in it. You know, I would love to see how my higher power, the Holy Spirit, God, wants to use the movie that's being filmed today. You know, it's like, what is my attitude about that? What do I think about that? Whenever I have any thoughts about it, my immediate response is, thy will be done. That's my answer to it. No matter what my mind might come up with, what the possibility of it, what could happen, how things that I'm doing could reach a larger audience, what would that result in? In the end, I've been around this game long enough to know that the only smart response would be, thy will be done. That which loves me, that which created me, that which knows what's best for me. I want your will to be done because I'm aware that I don't really know what my own best interest is. I can just come up with some scripts that I make up for myself. But I've been blessed in that most of my fantasies have all come true. And I had some pretty way out fantasies, and they've all come true. And I still was not completely happy and completely satisfied, because the truth is there's nothing outside of myself that's going to ultimately give me joy and happiness. But here's the funny part about it. The more I experience that peace and joy that the Course is teaching me how to become aware of, the more the things I used to try to manifest and create and visualize and dominate and control and get mad so that it could happen, those things are happening on their own as if by magic. The ones that I started to put my attention on, who am I, what am I love, how can I be a conduit for love here, then everything else started to be added. So I am so happy that I have another opportunity to stand before you and allow myself to be used as a conduit for love. Because the love that comes through me has an effect on me. And all the good feeling I'm having looking at you, I feel it before you do. It comes through me before it comes out to you. So that means that regardless of how any of you feel today, and I want you to feel joy beyond your wildest imagination, but it has absolutely no power to change me feeling good about being with you today. That's right. And how I feel about that at all. I used to think it was opposite, that I needed a reaction from you for me to feel good about myself. And then I learned through the Course in Miracles that I just needed to be the love, and then I would feel the joy and the happiness that I was looking for you to give me. And by me no longer looking for you to give it to me, I don't have anything to get upset with you about, because I used to get upset with people because it looked like they weren't acting out my script. And they weren't making me happy. And that's what I was mad about. But since I no longer look at you as being the people who make me happy, then I can truly love you because I don't have any kind of script that I need to put on you, other than I'd like to see you be who you really are so that you can be exciting and not boring. Boring people are people who are never being true to themselves and are acting out the script that society set out for them for what they should be and how they should be. So you're not letting me see you, you're just letting me see who you were programmed to be. I would love to see you. I would love to meet you, because you are me and I am you, and you are me and I am you, and I'm curious to see what else I'm up to. I want to know what I'm up to. Because I can look at some of y'all and you up to something. I can look at a few of y'all, I can tell you up to something. And there's some good stuff. I can tell there's some good stuff. There's a lot of smiles on people in my life right now. And since I'm not going to tell you that you're guilty and you're bad and you're wrong, then you'll be more likely to feel safe. And if you feel safe, you communicate to me about whatever's going on in you and with you. And if you have free communication, with me without any kind of fear, then that's love. Because my definition of love that I got from the Course is, it is unlimited communication without fear. So that's how I can tell whether I'm expressing love with somebody is this. How afraid am I to tell you what I really think? How many private thoughts do I feel like I need to have around you? That's the degree to which I feel separate from you. You know what I found out? The people who were the most special to me were the ones that I would tend to have the most private thoughts and not feel truly free to tell them everything I was thinking and doing because of the fear of loss with them. So actually, the person that was the most special was the one I was hiding myself from the most because I didn't want to lose the love. So when I find myself being afraid to talk to somebody that I'm around, then I said, well, Purdy, you know, in this particular moment, you are not expressing love. So do you know right now, there's not love between y'all right now. You know, you're specialness. And there's so much specialness between you all that you're afraid to communicate because you think you're going to lose. And the one factor about love is you can't lose it.
Yay!
If it's real love, you can't lose it. So sometimes I don't like to express everything within me simply because I don't want to lose all these relationships that I know are unreal that I'm holding on to because I don't want to go to the movie with somebody. That's why would I be so afraid? So, you all know what relationships are real and what not. You already know it. You know it because of how afraid you are to communicate, which means you know it's not real. But does that mean there's not a reality in it beyond that unreality? Not at all. There is love behind every fear. There's love behind every guilt. There's love behind every bit of anger that you think you may be feeling toward anybody. There's love behind it, and you want to get to the love behind the fear. And the way you get to the love behind the fear is to call the fear what it is. It's a call for love. That's how you get to it. So, and then the Course in Miracles goes on to say, I'm going to pass this around. There are a lot of people here, and please keep it moving. Last time it stopped about the fifth person. And never got around the room. Because I want to put you on my contact list, and you can go to my website, earlpurdy.com, because I video all my classes. And people who are on my contact list, once a week, I don't barrage you every day. I send links to the classes, and you can click on it and you can watch the classes again. And then I can also let you know the things that I'm doing. So it'd be great if you was on the contact list, because I want to share this with you. I feel so hot. I feel so grateful. I feel so thankful. I have to just take a breath. There's so much that wants to come through me. Sometimes I feel like I'm just going to burst into a whole bunch of little black pieces of flesh. I do something. It's like it's so much that wants to come through. There's so much love that I want to express to you that I don't want to frighten you with it. Because if I give you more love than you think you deserve, you'll think I'm a fraud. You think, oh, he's just running the game down. Whenever somebody's giving you more than you think you deserve, the temptation will be for you to think they are deceiving you. Because they think more highly of you than you think of yourself. That's why we tend to head toward the people who think less of us. Because we think we can believe them and then try to bring them up at least to the level that I feel about myself. But if you meet somebody who really is seeing you as innocent and beautiful and loving and holy, and they're not attacking you, and they're seeing you as guiltless, and they're seeing you as sinless, and they're seeing you as powerful, and they're seeing you as responsible, if that's not the way you see yourself, you could find yourself feeling like you're in the presence of an imposter, someone who's trying to deceive you. So I have to remember to be separate enough from you not to scare you. But don't you think for 1 second that the love that you are feeling from me and what you're seeing in me is the highest level I could express my oneness with you. But you never want to communicate with a person at a level that increases their fear. And how do I know the level that will increase your fear? By observing the way you are relating to me. Because you are teaching me how you want to be treated by the way you treat me and yourself and everybody else around you. Wow.
Wow.
The person who wants a hug gives a hug. The person that doesn't. The person who wants to be talked to starts a conversation. The person that wants to be alone doesn't extend to anybody. You give what you want to receive. You always are giving what you want to receive. So if you want to receive something new, then you have to give something new. And I am giving something new so I can receive something new. So that means a lot of times I got to get out of my comfort zone, go ahead and express myself in ways that I would normally feel afraid to do it. Yeah. I have to be on my edge. The Course in Miracles is teaching me that I'm not alone and that I got the ultimate backup. So it's telling us right now that your strain is coming from your attempts to hold back your love. Yeah. Your strain is coming from your attempts to be suspicious and afraid. That's your strain. It's not what's going on in your job. The Course says it's us holding back the love and the truth that we really are. And it says there's just one teacher of reality and truth that understands what it is. And that teacher of reality and truth, our higher power, the Course says, it doesn't change his mind about reality because reality doesn't change. I'm not going to change my mind about my love for you because my love for you doesn't change. I'm not going to change my mind about my love for you because my love for you doesn't change. And then it goes on to say, although your interpretations of reality are meaningless, the way you're looking at things are meaningless if it's not bringing you peace. It says your higher self, the Holy Spirit, its interpretations of how loving you are, it says are consistently true. So it says, don't attempt to help somebody in your way. Yeah. So there are people right now in therapy from the help you gave them. The Course says, don't trust your good intentions. Your good intentions are not enough. I love that. So don't trust your, he said, trust your willingness. Don't trust your good intentions, trust your willingness. What does that mean? I keep trusting my willingness to become a more loving, conscious being. I keep trusting my willingness to forgive more. I keep trusting my willingness to give you freedom and truth more. I keep trusting my willingness to be as loving and as kind as I can be. I'm trusting my willingness. I'm not trusting my good intentions. You know why? Because I don't know your own best interest and I don't know what's best for you. You know how many horrible things have happened in this world as a result of what? Good intentions. So it's not our good intentions that's going to take us to where we want to go. It's going to be trusting our willingness to wake up and to get in touch with who we really are. It's the love that we really are that's going to do it. So the Course says, don't attempt to help somebody in your own way because you can't help yourself. But hear that person's call for the help of God, in the help of love, and the help of truth. He says, then you'll recognize your own need. Your interpretation of another person's needs are your interpretation of your needs. Your interpretation of another person's needs are the interpretation of your needs. What you think I need is what you need. That's right. Mm-hmm. You just need to be more unselfish. Mm-hmm. You just need to be more unselfish. You need to be more patient. Oh, I need to be more patient. Whenever I hear somebody saying about somebody else, I always know that that applies to them and that they're revealing to me exactly what they think, but they think they're revealing to me about somebody else. That's why you want to listen, because the more you listen, more everybody will reveal to you their level of consciousness, where they're coming from. If they're seeing everybody else as somehow or another lacking, guilty, and afraid, then you know that they are full of those kind of thoughts themselves, which means at some point you're going to be on the receiving end of those thoughts. There are no private thoughts. Wow, that's deep. So the Course in Miracles then says, by giving help, you're asking for help. If you perceive but one need in yourself, you will be healed. Oh, that makes sense, because I think I have a lot of needs. And the Course in Miracles is saying, well, the belief that you have a lot of needs, that's actually keeping you from being healed. The truth is you only have one need. And if you only have one need and you see it as only having one need, you will be healed. And what is that one need? That one need is love. That one need is unity. That one need is peace. That one need is to know that I'm joined and connected to you. I have one need. My ego is going to tell me I need money. I need specialists. I need a career that's successful. I need to lose 10 pounds. My ego is going to tell me everything outside of myself that needs to be healed other than I only have one need. And that need is love. But not the stuff I learned, the real deal. And so the Course teaches you what real love is and not the stuff that we learned. The stuff that we've learned is not real love because it changes based on your behavior and how you act and what you do. So I don't know how to do that kind of love. You know how to do unconditional love no matter what? You just show up as loving no matter what? Do you all know how to do that? No, you know you don't.
No.
You know you don't. So your realization that you don't know how to do it puts you in a position to be able to do it one day because you're willing to be taught now that you know you don't know how to do it. And since you know you don't know how to love unconditionally, you walk up to somebody and say, you know what, baby, I really want to get to know you. But let me tell you, I don't know nothing about love, but can we go out? I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to learn what it is. I'm working on removing the block. I did one word book lesson the last 6 months. I'm on it. Totally on it. So I want to love you, right? So I need to and I understand what's going to be happening with you. No matter whatever happens, it's going to be love or a call for love. That's going to be the only thing that's happening is love or a call for love. And so if I see it that way, then I'm increasing my awareness of love. And what I increase my awareness of is what I become more aware of. So the more I see what you're doing is love or call for love, the more I see what you're doing is abundance and a call for abundance, peace and a call for peace, then I'm actually focusing on that more and more. My thoughts are creative and create my reality. So all of a sudden my reality starts to bring me peace about the things that it used to always bring me conflict about, because I'm seeing it the way it really is. Yeah. And there's not a doggone thing I'm telling you today that you couldn't start using today if you wanted to. Notice that I didn't tell you anything that required future. Everything I've said today are nothing but attitudes and interpretations that all of us could take starting right now if we wanted to. But as part of my love for you and part of my gift to you is that I'm not going to have any attachment to whether or not you utilize anything that I say today, because you will when you see it as a blessing and not a curse. You will when you're ready to let go of anything that blocks you. And I want it to be a true gift, and I trust the divine within you to open your mind up to another way of looking at things when you're ready. But in the meantime, I want to join with as many people as possible that have already made their decision right now, and they know they want to go beyond the blocks to their happiness. That's right. Because we are all popcorn in the same skillet, and all the kernels don't pop at the same time. But with this popcorn, every kernel pops. Would you acknowledge yourself, Holy Spirit? Of God. That's who you are. That's who you are. So right now I'm going to do the financial expression of appreciation. Thank you for sharing with me as a full-time teacher of the course. You are a blessing on every level. Those of you watching on the internet, also if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, you can go to my website, earlpurdy.com. You're innocent whether you share anything or not. All right? But just because I'm a spiritual teacher don't mean that I don't want to have some money. Why? Because it's nothing but another way for me to continue to do my ministry and keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm just like you in the body with the same needs you think you have in the body. The only difference is maybe that I think that all things that come to me ultimately come from God. Right. And that everybody here is a channel, and I thank you and I bless you for being willing to be that channel to yourself, which is what I am. So I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Also, I'm available for one-on-one sessions with people called clarity sessions, where I take these teachings and we take it and we apply it to whatever it is you're going through that you're ready to finally have breakthrough and to get rid of the blocks about. So I want to encourage you to have a session with me. Go to my website. It explains it in detail, what I have to offer, and we can do that. There is no reason for you to continue in the patterns that you know are limiting you. The Course says the only reason why a person basically continues in a pattern that's causing them suffering is that there's some kind of payoff that they're getting, that the suffering that they're going through is worthwhile to them to get that payoff. So if you find yourself still knowing you're unhappy and stuck, but you find yourself not doing a single thing to really change it, then the Course says that at some level you've already decided that the solution is for you to be in conflict and to suffer. That the solution is you suffering. That you're going to suffer so much one day that you're going to be miraculously happy. So anybody that tries to take your suffering away would be someone who would give you resistance. You would have resistance because you've decided that you're guilty and you deserve to be punished because we've learned that punishment is correction. Mm-hmm. So if you're bad and you're not enough and you're not loved, then if you punish yourself enough through your relationships, your financial situation, your health, your job, your relationship to the higher power, then that's your solution, is that you're going to suffer. that suffering is not necessary. Suffering doesn't serve any useful purpose. But if you do choose to suffer, then Spirit will take the suffering and use it as a lesson for you to learn. So isn't that great? You don't have to suffer, but if you choose to suffer, Spirit will take the suffering that you're going through to give you a nice little tidy lesson in that. But don't think for a second that the suffering was necessary in order for you to get the benefit. So that's part of that old thought system that we're talking about that needs to be let go of. That thought system of separation and guilt and fear is the one that tells us you need to be punished. So stop using your relationships to punish you. The Course says that's our chief weapon that we use to keep us from heaven and happiness is our special relationships. That we make too many relationships that are bargains made with guilt. And so we need to let that go. So if you don't want to hear about your innocence and how beautiful you are and how eternal you are and how powerful you are and how loved you are, do not come to my class. You avoid me like the plague. Okay? If you need to hear how guilty, bad, and sinful you are, I'm the wrong person. All right? And so if you're ready to let go of that, even though you know you're going to have a lot of resistance to it because that was the earliest programming that you got in your life, then go ahead and claim it for yourself anyway, and you'll be amazed at how many things will come to your rescue and how much information and support and love will come to you just from having the intention that you're going to change your mind about who you really are. Just from that intention. Take a breath. Sometimes people say, you talk so fast. That's so you can analyze the hell out of what I'm saying. That's why I talk fast. I don't want you to analyze it. Because the analyzation of it is the destruction of the meaning of it. Let's break it down in little pieces so that it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Then I can stay the way I've always been. No, just remember this. You are loved. You are loving. And you are loved forever. That you are eternal. That you are powerful. That you are spirit. And this body is your communication device in this realm. And the more you accept your innocence and reinforce that idea of your innocence, the less you'll believe you need to be punished. That doesn't mean that you don't make errors, because errors are for correction, not for punishment. So yes, we make mistakes. How do we know we're making mistakes? Because I'm feeling less than loving about myself right now. That's the mistake. And what is the purpose of a relationship? Well, the purpose of a relationship is to be with people that when you forget how whole and beautiful and loving and powerful you are, they remind you of your value. Rather than remind you of everything that's true about how bad you feel about yourself. Just in case you forgot what you did last Christmas, let me add that to the list too. You know, some people, when you talk about what you're going through and how angry you are, how upset you are, they'll actually remind you of other things you need to be upset about and take you even further into your fear and self-punishment and attack. So a holy relationship is just a sane relationship. It's just a relationship that's based on the truth of who we really are. And yeah, you can go to a party, and yeah, you can go to Disney World, and yes, you can go to movies, and yes, you can have great lovemaking, and yes, you can travel around the world, but do it with somebody that's sane.
Okay. All right.
Sane people have bodies too. Or sometimes you deal with insane people because you're attracted to their bodies. They don't have no sense but the body. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can remember being seduced by a butt. I'll get around to the mind later. I'll get there eventually. I'm working my way up. Mac call for love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the form means more than the content. If you look good, you are good. If you look good, you are good. How do you think so many people got in the cars with serial killers? It wasn't because they look like this. They probably look really cool. You know, can I help you? So I want you to remember one thing as we conclude this. You are entitled to miracles.
Yes.
You are entitled to miracles. 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 That means you are entitled to states of completion and abundance. It means you are entitled to unconditional love. It means you are entitled to freedom. It means you are entitled to forgiveness. It means you are entitled to see things so correctly that your reality only reflects peace and love and joy and freedom and juice back to.
Yes.
And if you want to get it really, really fast, join with other people who want it like you want it. And by joining with each other, you increase it for yourself. Don't try to do this alone. Join with other people who want to be sane. And if this sounds like a cult to say you deserve to be happy, you got issues. Because the only thing I said is you deserve to be happy. You're the one that's in charge of your experience. You're the one that's responsible for your joy. You are not alone. Go within, do your own spiritual work. And if that makes me a cult leader, then you're misperceiving me. I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be a leader, and I don't want to be a follower, and I don't want you to be a leader, and I don't want you to be a follower, because that means you're walking by yourself.
That's right.
If you're walking behind me, then I'm by myself. If you're walking in front of me, it means I'm walking by myself. I want to be walking beside you as equals, because the miracle happens out of a sense of equality and not out of a sense of separation. So I'm going to finish this today on that affirmation, I am entitled to miracles. And it goes something like this. I am entitled to miracles. Say what? I am entitled to miracles. Say it again. I am entitled to miracles. What you say? I am entitled to miracles. One more time. I am entitled to miracles. Those who got some funk. I am entitled to miracles. One more time. I am entitled to miracles. Have some fun. I am entitled to miracles. One more time. I am entitled to miracles. What you say? I am entitled to miracles. You know why we want to repeat it? Remember what I said at the very beginning, that you think the way you think because of the things that you repeated to yourself or was repeated to yourself ever since you were born. I am entitled to miracles. It has a practical reason. I am entitled to miracles. What about we? We are entitled to miracles. Would you be willing to say it for everybody? We are entitled to miracles. One more time. We are entitled to miracles. Give it up, Holy Spirit. Yes, hugs are totally available. I love hugs. Thank you so much for coming out today. It means so much to me to feel your love and feel your support. On Tuesday nights, I do the Way of Mastery at 7 o'clock. Awesome class. Yeah, so you are entitled to miracles. You are, and notice I said entitled to miracles. I didn't say you had to earn them. I didn't say you had to pay for it. I said you are entitled to it because of who you are. That's it. Because I see you just juicy. That's all it is. You're just juicy and sweet. That's all it is. See, that baby is so conscious it wanted to be here right at the beginning. That's right. Don't have me twerking up here. I love y'all. Thanks for coming out. We got an announcement, but thank you for coming out so much.